And that's what we saw last night. The Warriors and the Grizzlies. A little flambe. That's 7'4" Zach Edey for anyone with a measuring stick out there. Curry hits the three with a hand in his face.
Stop leaving big men on the island with Steph, man. It's unfair.
19-point first quarter for Curry, his most in a first quarter since 2021. And Steph wasn't done in the second. Draymond with the steal, leading the break here. Warriors moving around. Steph Curry in the corner. Can't leave that man.
They know who to find.
Can't leave that man. About a minute later, Curry hits deep wing three there. 8 made threes in the half for Curry. Quentin Post, your thoughts on the first half?
I don't know why I'm here. Steph got 40 points, but
we don't know either, but I really enjoyed that. John Morant turned it up, though, in the third. Here, hits a little floater, plus the foul. And then, going ahead to less than a minute later here, Morant hides behind the screen, hits the three. Grizzlies still in it, despite that first half from Curry.
No, they fought. They were showed a lot of character, came back, and this is a team that said, we're not just going to die down.
Fake, Curry.
That's deflating, man.
27 game for Curry.
And that was
10 or 4 threes.
Pretty good defense.
That's deflating.
Going to the fourth quarter here. Under 6 to play. Memphis up by 1. Curry operating again. Gets inside for the layup.
Don't get enough credit for his ability to finish around the basket.
Memphis still hanging around, though. Santi Aldama hits the three to put Memphis back up by 2 here. So we were in for a good finish. 3 minutes left. The Warriors down 2. Golden State, once again, it's the ball movement, Dan.
And you see Draymond, he knows who to find. He was wide open.
3 for Steph Curry.
A couple threes, but he said, let me get the ball to Steph.
Steph finished with 52, rather. Just over a minute left. Curry misses, but Brandon Podziemski there for a huge putback tip-in. And then under a minute left, the Warriors up 5. You know what? Moses Moody said, I see Steph. I can do that, too.
He's been playing some pretty damn good basketball, too, Malik.
Golden State hangs on to win this one, 134-125. Here's Steph Curry after a record-setting night.
That was the first 2 threes of the fourth quarter. I definitely was thinking about Clay in Chicago. This is as close as I've been with the amount of time left. But then after that, reality check. We got to win the game, so you don't want to sabotage anything.
And, of course, you know something's going on when you see Steph Curry highlights all over. Perk and I were filming something late last night here in studio, and all of a sudden we started getting these notifications. I said, Perk, we got to turn this on. My favorite was the Vince Carter meme, though, you see there. And then here now we can take some stock of the standings after those incredible games last night. The Warriors, they switched places with the Grizzlies. They moved into 5th. So, yes, that is right. They would take on the Lakers if the season ended today. Huge, though, that they got a tiebreaker with that win. Expect plenty more movement with just 1 game separating those 5 and 8 seeds. Perk, what does this win mean for Golden State?
Most impressive win of the season for Golden State since Jimmy arrived. I've been asking for that signature win. They went down there in Memphis and got it. And we know it's some beef and tension between Golden State and Memphis.
John Morant has straight up said, I don't like Lakers. And I think he feels
and they booed Draymond in there, right?
Yeah.
And so
for good reason.
You think about Memphis too. They were like they needed a win. They were competing. John Morant had one of his best games in weeks, and all of a sudden Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, both along with the Warriors have that one moment like, okay, They got that it factor.
I mean, Memphis they've been whooping, Golden State's been whooping that trick for a while now. But speaking of Jimmy, he just gives so much different looks for them. Another dynamic. As you've seen in some of those clips, they're doubling Jimmy. I'm like, how can you double Jimmy when Steph Curry's on the floor? When he has a mismatch in the post, he's one of those guys that brings a different, like he can get to the free throw line, he can do different things, but he's another guy that can draw a double team. And when you got a guy that can draw a double team, you have Steph Curry on the floor, and of course you get open the floor for Moses Moody and other guys like Podziemski to knock down threes. It makes the game that much easier. Free throw differential, which won this game for them, Jimmy, they were 28 for 28, and Jimmy's a big part of that.
They found a starting lineup. I know Steve Kerr loves to tinker with the lineup, but this starting lineup they have found something with when it's Curry, Green, Moody, Podziemski, Butler. They're 12-0 when that group starts. We got a lot to get to on our show today.
Where the stars shined bright last night. Steph Curry had a game for the ages, recording 52 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, and 12 threes. in the win over the Grizzlies. It was his 15th career 50-point game, tying Damian Lillard for the 6th most in NBA history. It was also his 4th career game with 12 or more threes, passing Klay Thompson for the most in NBA history. Nikola Jokic put together the 3rd 60-point triple-double in NBA history with 61, 10, and 10. The Nuggets did lose, making the Joker the 2nd player in NBA history to lose a game in which he had a 50-point triple-double. Wilt Chamberlain had 51 points in a home loss against the Pistons on February 13th, 1963. Now the Nuggets, they remain in 3rd despite their loss, and the Warriors swapped spots with the Grizzlies for 5th after their win. Just 3.5 games separate the Nuggets and the 8th place Clippers in the super tight Western Conference. Basketball analyst Monica McNutt is with us now. Okay, Mon, when you look at the games that the Joker and Steph Curry had last night, which one left you more in awe?
Ooh, Christine, this is tough, but I'm actually going to go with Joker, and here's why. Steph Curry has had 16 50-point performances. One of them was a postseason playoff performance. Other than that, he's 10 of 5 in those games. So, like, spectacular, but kind of does it. Jokic, on the other hand, the 60-point triple-double, it has only been done by 3 players. Luka Doncic and James Harden joined that class. And I know this is sullied just a bit by the fact that the Nuggets actually lost, but for him to dominate in this game in this way, reaching a milestone in terms of points scored, and to do it so casually. He's practically averaging a triple-double again and should absolutely be number 2. And if you got him number 1 in your MVP race, I'm not mad at that at all. So I'm going with Jokic on last night.
Also, I want to be very clear. Both of these performances were extremely impressive. It's just which one was better than the other one. Okay, so let's talk about these teams a little bit more. The Warriors, they get really important win to leapfrog the Grizzlies in the standings. They're now 5th. So what do you see as their ceiling?
All right, so if the Warriors could get to the 3 seed, I think that they actually have a chance to get all the way to the Western Conference Finals. You want to avoid the Oklahoma City Thunder, but it doesn't exactly look great when you look at the rest of their schedule. They've still got some tough games to go in there, and the Lakers obviously probably are eyeballing the same thing. And so there's not a lot of teams in the West that are just going to give up the ghost as far as competing. But I really, really like the way the Warriors are playing basketball with Jimmy Butler. They have found a lineup that they've been 12-0 with Butler, Green, Curry, Podziemski, and Moody. So they have found a way to get to their best basketball at the right point of year. I think they have versatility on the defensive end in terms of being able to switch and hide their lack of size. And then offensively, they've got 3 guys that are veterans in terms of performing when the clock strikes postseason.
You mentioned it. They've got a difficult stretch coming up. They're at the Lakers tomorrow, then home for the Nuggets and the Rockets. Now let's talk a little bit more about the Nuggets. They lose to the Timberwolves. They're 3rd in the West, 1.5 games ahead of the Lakers. So how do you describe the state of Denver right now?
It's a little bit fragile because the Lakers are hunting. They are absolutely coming when you mention that 1.5 game lead. But the thing that is the top line item when I look at the Nuggets is getting healthy. For as fantastic as that double overtime game was, and as gaudy as Nikola Jokic's stat line with the 60-point triple-double, they didn't have Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. And I thought Aaron Gordon was great last night. Christian Brown gave you some really great moments as well. Peyton Watson is coming along as a young guy, but this team still needs to be whole in order to be truly the team that's in the best position, I believe, to push the Oklahoma City Thunder in the West.
Yeah, the West is a very interesting conversation because it's OKC versus everybody else trying to take them down. Yeah. So it's a really good conversation to have. Monica, you'll be back to talk a little bit more hoops. A developing story here on Sportscenter. Our NBA insider Shams Charania reporting that the NBA is investigating Ja Morant's actions during the game when he pretended to point a rifle at the Warriors bench. Morant was suspended for the first 25 games of the 2023-24 season for showing a firearm on social media after a previous 8-game suspension.
Chào cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng. Và hôm nay mình sẽ có thêm này là cỏ máu. Mình làm cái vòng này sẽ là cỏ may mắn. Đây là mình sẽ bắt đầu làm nha. Cái gì đây? Cái gì đây? À kia nó biết tự vào kia.
Ai vừa gọi?
Chị Ách bảo gọi.
Ý là mẹ gọi gì? Xong gọi lại. Tao vừa vứt ra nào gọi.